Hi, my name is Cathal O'Reilly and welcome to UCC Medicine. I'm your MedSoc Education Officer. We made these videos for study advice for the first and second years, just to show you how to get through the modules and how to prepare for your CAs and final exams. You'll also be getting second year buddies. Make sure you get onto them for helpful tips and for exams and study.
The main modules you have in first year medicine are the FM modules, and they're broken up into anatomy, biochem and physiology. And I suppose the biggest change from secondary to college in that perspective is that the exams are really different. So the CAs are worth, for FM 1010 it's worth 30%, and they're made up of MCQs for biochemistry and physiology, which is multiple choice questions, and then an anatomy spot exam.
It's a very different style of learning. It's very much not knowing a general overview. With the multiple choice questions, they can be very, very specific. So you have a very high content and you at the same time need to know a lot of it, which is very much, it's kind of overwhelming at the start. So you need to look into and work on trying to manage that straight away, which is why it's really important at the start to kind of work from the beginning, because otherwise you can be left behind and it can mount up and you'll suffer as a result.
Yeah, one website that's really good is Teach Me Anatomy, just for anatomy all year, and it's like, it kind of does anatomy not in as much detail as you need, but they have like sample MCQs on the website and they're really handy because MCQs are always handy to do.
And one of the things with anatomy lectures is that she doesn't fill them out properly. She doesn't use full lectures. You have to go to her lectures and actually fill in the stuff that she's puts up. So it's very important to go to her lectures. And one of the things I would say that every Tuesday and Thursday you then have anatomy labs. So with these anatomy labs you have practical manuals, so they're more detailed and they go through anatomy, what you do in the lab. So anything that isn't in the manuals, that is in the lectures, if you transfer them over from the lectures to the manuals, what you'll have then is you'll have say 10 condensed, say like crash course survival guides of what you need to know for your exams, because that's what you'll be examined on. It's exactly what you need to know, and it can be really, really handy when you're coming up studying for it.
Another thing in anatomy is there is histology, embryology and radiology, kind of just separate to like the proper anatomy, and some people kind of skip those things, but if you do, it can just make it a bit more difficult for yourself because you are kind of working like with less possible questions then, and they actually, the embryology in particular, there's only one lecture, and if you show up, he kind of gives you a really good indication as to what the question will be on, and they're normally on the pictures in the slide, so really look at the pictures.
I suppose with anatomy, finally, I suppose if you use pictures as well, just for using Rowan's Colour Atlas is a great one for anatomy, because the actual spots themselves will be on cadavers, and Rowan's has real life pictures of the bodies, which is really, really handy.
Yeah, and the spot exam is like, there's something labelled on the body and you have to go inside the lab and you have to say what it is, and then there's an applied question on that as well. For the spot exams as well, to help you prepare for them during the lab, she kind of does practice spots. So it's really good to take in like what questions are done there and what everything looks like, and then there's practice spots posted on Blackboard afterwards.
Yeah, so in the actual spot exam you'll have a part B, which is a theoretical question on the anatomy course, and throughout the labs then you will have sample ones like them, and they'll be posted up on Blackboard. So if you have a look at them, they can be quite similar to not only for the spot exam but also what can come up in your final year end exam. So they're examples of questions.
Yeah, so what is biochemistry?
Yeah.
Biochemistry is everything kind of at cellular level. It can be a little bit kind of abstract, so you just kind of have to just get used to that and just really just study for it, and it will be fine. Everyone's always kind of finding it.
So just in general for biochemistry, they will advise you to buy Leninger's. It's this big massive textbook. It's probably not worth buying in my opinion.
No.
It's very, very detailed and too detailed for the course. Lippincott is great for a review, and also for biochemistry one of the most important things is you'll have loads and loads of enzymes. So for all your modules I would say to just look at an enzyme and look at what it does, what it uses, and then if there's a deficiency, what it causes. Because throughout the entire course, it's so important for all modules. So if you have that done, it'll be really important.
And that's usually what the questions are usually on the exams to do with something kind of clinical, to do with kind of a disease or something. So it's not like that's just kind of narrow stuff down slightly. Then physiology.
Physiology, out of all of them, is probably the one that's most relevant, most important about understanding. It's the one that in the lectures they might explain it, but the questions then might not be taken directly from the lectures. They'll be more applying your understanding of the topic, which can be quite off-putting at the start because you're used to just learning everything off and then it being the exact same thing, whereas they'll push your knowledge, especially with some of the first modules. So that would be very important to gain a better understanding of what's going on.
Yeah, and Teach Me Physiology is another website that is really good for just looking at things more simply. And it also has MCQs on it. Just in general, another few things is EndNote is like this thing that you can use for citing when you're writing essays, because you will be writing an essay for HC, which is one of your modules, so that's really handy because UCC actually pay for that, so you can have it for free. They also pay for Microsoft.
Yeah, so you have Microsoft Office for free, so you can download that and it should be explained to you on your orientation day that you can download.
Yeah, and also MedSoc do organise a buddy system, so we will all be getting on tea and stuff, and you'll be kind of paired up with us, and if you ever have any questions, just feel free to ask us then, because we are happy to help.
Stop. So at the start of the year you will be given a lot of recommended textbooks to buy. Most of these are all available in the library and you will also be given them access to them as PDFs, so there's no real need to buy them.
Yeah, and also you can take them out to the library for like 6 weeks sometimes, so that's a long time.